Hi, this is lesson 3.1, and the learning target is to identify angles formed by two lines and a transversal. Now, before we do that, we have a few vocabulary terms we want to talk about. First of all, parallel lines. Two lines are parallel if they do not intersect and are coplanar. Now, it's interesting that the word coplanar is there. Remember from chapter 1, it means that the lines are on the same plane. So, in this example, we have line AB, and it is parallel to line CD. Now the symbol that is used would be like two little arrows, or over here, these two little triangles. Okay, that is a symbol that says they are parallel, which means they're never going to intersect. Being on the same plane, think of it this way. I could lay a piece of paper over these two lines, and both lines would be fully on the piece of paper. Okay? And then the way that we would write this is we would say line AB is parallel, here's your symbol, to line CB, okay? And over here, if we look at which ones are parallel lines, M and N are parallel. So we would write line M is parallel to line N. Now skew, it's a little bit harder to describe on a video, but it's two lines. They are skew if they do not intersect and they are not coplanar. In other words, skew lines are two lines that do not intersect and they're not parallel. So an example, looking at this drawing, would be line M. That's going to be on this blue plane. It's going to keep shooting back this direction. And line K. So hopefully you can see the dimension here. Those will never intersect. Now, there isn't one piece of paper that you could lay on line M that would also include all of line K. And if you're going to keep that, remember that paper has to be flat if it's a plane. So an example of skew lines would be line M and line K. All right, and then lastly, parallel planes. Two planes are parallel if they do not intersect. So here we have plane T and plane U. So we'll write plane T and plane U. They're parallel. And let me put the symbol in there too, we need to start using that. Plane T is parallel to plane U. All right, so let's do this example. It says, think of each segment in the diagram as a part of a line, which means I'll use the little line symbol above each answer. Which line or lines or planes appear to fit the description? So, lines that are parallel to line EH. So line EH is right here. And remember, it kind of keeps going. So what would be parallel? Well, remember, lines that are parallel will never touch, and they're on the same plane. So this bottom of the box here is a plane. These two will never touch, so these are parallel. So that would be line AB. This side of the box is a plane, and so line FG would be parallel to EH. And then actually, line CD is also parallel. And you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, is there a plane? Yes, you could lay a piece of paper diagonally across here, and that is a plane that would contain both of those lines, and they will not intersect. All right, let me erase that. Next, we have lines that are perpendicular to EH. So perpendicular means, remember, they meet at a 90-degree angle. So like these two lines would be perpendicular. So we would have line FE, and also this line, line GH. And this line would be perpendicular to this line, which is line EA, and line HB. All right, next, lines that are skewed to line CD. So in other words, they're never going to intersect, but they're not in the same plane, and they contain point F. So a line that would never intersect but is not in the same plane. So in other words, you can't lay a piece of paper down that will contain all of this line and all of this line would be line FE, or you could say line EF. Next, we have planes that are perpendicular to plane AEH. Okay, so first when you do this, identify where's plane AEH. AEH, that would be the bottom of the box. That contains all three of those points. So a plane that would be perpendicular would be like the back of the box. All right, so if you picture a box, the bottom and one of the sides, those would meet at 90-degree angles. So we would say plane GCB, or you could say HGC, any 3 points on the back of the box, or the side of the box. This side right here, plane FGH, or plane this side, CDB, or the front of the box. So all four sides are perpendicular to the bottom, plane FEA. So any 3 points like on each side you would name. So all of these are that answer. Lastly, we have planes that are parallel to plane FGC. Plane FCG, okay, figure out which one that is. That's the top of the box. So what's parallel to it? Well, the bottom. So that would be plane EHB. All right, next, this is not on your note guide, but just a reminder here, when only two lines cross, there are two types of angle pairs. Vertical angles, so like angle 1 and angle 2 here are vertical angles, and remember, those are congruent, which means their measures are equal. And linear pairs, like angle 1 plus angle 2, that adds up to 180. They are supplementary. Now, however, when one line crosses two others, there are two different intersections involved, and it creates several new angle pairs. So here we have two lines, and this line that is crossing both of them is called a transversal. So transversal. All right, I'm going to give you a minute to just write down, fill in the blanks here on your note guide. So transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. All right, so let's talk about the special angles that are formed. So here you have your two lines, and the line that's crossing both of them is called the transversal. So corresponding angles, angles with corresponding positions. So let's think about the word corresponding. Like in our school building, my classroom is on the second floor. It's the middle classroom. It's on the the east side of the building. The classroom that corresponds with my room on the first floor would be Mrs. Oysted's room. She's in the middle of the building on the east side of the building. So our rooms correspond. So we're in the relatively same position. Now, if we're looking at this diagram, all right, angle 1, okay, that is on the above this line. So it's above this line, and it's to the left of this line. Okay, if you look down at the other line, the angle that is above and to the left would be angle 5. So those correspond to each other. Another set would be angle 2. That's above the line and to the right. Would correspond with angle 6. Okay, above and to the right. Angle 4, this one right here, that is below the line and to the left. And below this line and to the left of the transversal is 8. So those are corresponding. And then angle 3 is to the right of the transversal below, and angle 7 is to the right and below. All right, so those are called corresponding. Now, we're going to talk about alternate interior. So first of all, what I want you to do is lightly shade between the two lines. So when we have problems like this, we refer to the area between the two lines as the interior, And alternate interior would be angles that are in alternate corners. So angle 5 and angle 3. They're on alternate sides in the opposite corners. And then angle 4 and angle 6. So let's just write that down. Angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 5. Those are alternate interior. All right, alternate exterior. So I'm going to go back. Exterior. Okay, this is your interior. And the exterior is outside of it. So up in here, down in here. An alternate exterior, those are on opposite sides of the transversal. So angle 1 and angle 7. And angle 2 and angle 8. So this one and this one. They're on alternate sides and on the exterior. So they're not in the yellow part, which is the interior. And then the last one is these are called consecutive interior. Those are angles that are on the same side of a transversal, but between the two lines. So they're in the interior, but they're on the same side. So like angle 4 and 5 and angle 3 and 6. Those are called consecutive interior. Now, some books call them same side interior. I will use those words interchangeably for these angles. So angle 4 and angle 5 and angle 3 and angle 6. Now, I just really quickly, I didn't write down the angles when we talked about corresponding. I want to go back and do that. So angle 1 corresponds to angle 5. Angle 4 and angle 8. They're both below and to the left. Those are corresponding. And then we have angle 2 and angle 6. And then angle 3 and angle 7. All right, so we have to be able to find those. We're going to be using those a lot in this chapter. All right, so in this picture, which are the corresponding angles? Now our picture is sitting sideways. So angle 1, all right, so angle 1 is to the left of the line and above the transversal. So over here to the left and above would be 5. So angle 1 and angle 5. All right, we'll do another color. Angle 2 is above the line and to the right. Angle 6 over here is above the line and to the right. Angle 3 and angle 7 is below and to the left. And lastly, angle 4 is below and to the right, and 4 and 8. Angle 4 and angle 8. Okay, those are your corresponding angles. All right, next we have alternate interior. Again, interior is between the two lines. It's this region. So the alternate interior would be angle 2 and angle 7. Alternate corners. And then angle 4 and angle 5. Alternate interior. Alternate exterior, so in the white part here would be 3, and on the other side, on the alternate corner, would be 6. Angle 3 and 6. And then angle 1 and angle 8. So let the words in the name help you. Alternates, they're alternate sides of the transversal on the exterior part. Lastly, consecutive interior, so they're on the interior. Consecutive means right in a row, so that would be angle 2 and angle 5. So 2 and 5, and angle 4 and angle 7. Okay, almost done. Classify the angle pair as corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, or same side interior angles. Remember, that's consecutive interior. So angle 1 and angle 9, this one and this one. So sometimes what I do is there's a lot of there's an extra line here. It can get kind of confusing. So I highlight the lines that form the angles. All right, so then these are the two lines. This is the transversal. Both of these are to the left of the transversal, and they're above their line, so they're in corresponding positions. All right, let's go to 8 and 13. And again, what makes up angle 13 and angle 8? These lines here. Now, these are between the two lines, so they're interior and they're on the same side, so that would be same side interior or consecutive interior. All right, let's get rid of that. Next, we have angle 6 and 16. All right, so let's look at the lines. These are on alternate sides. They're not on the interior, which means they're on the exterior, and on alternate sides, so these would be alternate exterior. And then we have angle 4 and angle 10. So this one and this one. All right, and they are between the two lines, but they're on alternate sides. So these would be alternate interior. All right, now we have angle 8 and 16. Okay, so 8 and 16. So they are both below their line and on the left side, so they're in corresponding positions. And lastly, we have angle 10 and angle 13. Okay, now that's different. We haven't had any like that. I'm going to erase this right here. Angle 10 and angle 13. So I'm going to also highlight the lines that form those angles. That helps us see it a little better. So these are the two lines. So this is between the lines, so that's on the interior, and they're on the same side of the interior. Same side of the transversal, so same side interior. All right, so that is what we have for this lesson. Here are the problems and the answers to help you. You can check your work. So go ahead and do those. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching.